Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Guess the WN8, where my viewers submit me games and I have to guess their stats based on nothing but their gameplay. If I get within 250 of their WN8 or 2% of their wins, then I win. If I don't, then I give them 500 gold. This is a paid replay submission. You can find out more about how to submit by looking in the description. If you use the paid thing, then you get your replay guaranteed to being reviewed in this series, so that's nice. Anyhow, we got Chaff, Futur, and with the way we're going, I want to immediately reference the 380 meters of fuel range, which is kind of mediocre for like a French mobile medium tank. You'd want maybe a little more, but that's perhaps why we're occupying this position as opposed to... Oh, actually, that would be closer, never mind, but certainly more dangerous. What's going to oppose us? What's interesting is that were I in the Chaff, I might be bold enough to try and use that bush, because Chaff, yes, it's medium, doesn't keep the same camo on the move, but it's still got a decent camo rating, and there's no light tanks in this game. Alright, so I can maybe push that envelope a little bit further in terms of what I'm willing to do with this tank. And as I said, 380 meters of basic fuel range, and by the looks of things, this guy either has a back crew or doesn't have optics on this tank. So it's debatable how much value you're going to get out of this position, but I imagine he might spot someone making an unwise relocation. Now, we have just loaded all 4 of our shells into the chamber, 390 alpha damage per shell, with 1,560 damage in a clip. Now, these are APCR shells as standard. You can see them fly very, very quick to the target there. I believe 1,400 shell velocity, somewhere around there. On these shells, we got heat with premium, which, well, it does have 330 millimeters of pen, I believe, with 1,000 shell travel time, which is really quite damn good for heat shells. You do run into the old Batchat problem before it got the ammo capacity buff, in that this thing only has 32 shells, which, when you have a really good game, can get you into trouble if you're in this situation. You're taking 3 different shell types. We've got 4 HE here. You can get into the situation where you just don't have enough shells to do what you need to do. Now, the enemy are blazing over C1, which might as well be the name of this map. I once played with a meme mod pack that changed the names of all the maps, and this map was actually called C1. It was very, very funny indeed. Now, 38 seconds is the total amount of time that you need to go through this reload. That is not an insignificant period of time. And it is why, back in the day where sort of was there a time when the only tier 9s in the Battle Pass were the Phase 1 and the Chaff? There might have been one other that I'm forgetting. But I used to get a question, should I get the Chaff or the Phase 1? And I would say it depends on your skill level, because the Chaff is a very high skill cap tank. I should have mentioned it right off the bat because it's one of the most important factors of the tank. 4 seconds in between the shells. 390 alpha damage is nice, but 4 seconds... That's a long time to wait between shells of an autoloader. That is one of the largest intra clips in the game. It's, in the territory of things like the 155 and things like that. Like, it's a long time. So, in game states like this is how you've got to work the Chaff, because you can't really go in close. It's not a peek and unload tank like a Skoda or something like that. If you move with that Pajero right now, it's a god tier play. You should be claiming position. It doesn't matter that you're reloading. The Pajero's got you covered. going over there, taking this position right now, the enemy likely don't know you're loading. But taking that ground is gold right now. Literal game-winning play is to go up the A line right now. Help that Futur. That is a god play. I would be very, very impressed if you did that. That would be a sort of 60% play move, I'd say, spotting opportunities like that. But doesn't look like... Oh, okay, a little later, maybe sort of 55% reaction time. 55, 56. I like it. This is how you nail it down. People at a certain skill level do certain things. It's the premise of this series. Did that Pangelo just bounce a shot? Or did the Pangelo take an incoming shell from out wide? That's a question. Now, Chaffeto on 6 hit points. You almost don't want to waste a shell on him. We will, of course, if given the opportunity, and there we go. Now, I'll tell you what. Land him. Please land him just for... That was... I mean, I'm not even mad about that. That's just RNG kicking you in the teeth. Man even stopped, slowed down, and waited for the gun to settle before he took the first shot, and he still got buggered. Like, those shots just happen occasionally. Nothing really you can do about it. But the accuracy of this thing is 0.24, and yet it feels like it is higher. It feels like a 0.26, 0.28 to me. I don't know if anyone else has that feeling when playing this tank. But, I don't know, 2.2 second aim time, it shouldn't feel as poor as it does, but it does, most unfortunately. Now, 264 base pen is very nice. Almost looked like we were trying to double bush there, which don't take shots like that. You've just squandered your position. Oh. Okay. Okay. I would have been quite nervous about taking this particular angle when I could have just sort of gone in the bushes. There was a slope there. You can just go here. You're really high and very exposed here, so... Not optimal. We wanted the shot, but we weren't pressured to make the shot. No one was going to immediately die if we didn't make it. Okay, right. So, one of the things that we should keep in mind about autoloaders is, yes, we really want to keep health. There's a lot of good gameplay that you can take from what's happened already, is that we're still on the vast majority of our health at this stage in the game, which is indicative of good autoloader gameplay. It's principled gameplay in most tanks, but especially in autoloaders. Now, I say most tanks. Some things like your powerful, brawling heavy tanks, at this stage of the game, you actually want to have used most of your health to achieve something, right? To be the one that's won a flank or achieve a particular objective, right? And it's other people that inhibit more defensive gameplay, that want to retain their health for the end game where they can exploit the absence of the enemy and exploit their mobility, right? Whereas in heavy tank, the game state that you want to use your assertiveness in is generally earlier in the game, right? So just to specify, when I'm saying you should keep your health in most tanks, conceptually, yes, but those are a thing for a very good reason. Now, going from this reload, one really good thing that you can do, I'm curious, we got spotted in this area before, didn't we? I remember him dipping down. I can't remember the exact details of the spot, but it would make me take pause and think, where's the STRV? Right? Every time you get spotted in water tanks, you should be asking, why? How? What spotted me? Because in situations like this, the options that gives dictate where you go, particularly in an opportunistic tank like this. Getting spotted by something can tell you where it is, or to maybe one level of precision less than getting shot at by it, alright? So, are we questioning at this point? How did I get spotted earlier? That should be in your head. But we're going with this Type 71. And I think this guy's AFK. Maybe let the Type... Oh, he wasn't AFK. Okay. I was considering that I don't like the land there. Really kind of not magneted. If you were going to take a shot from a Leo, then it saved you about 60 hit points. But... Or 60 to 80 hit points. But, oh, and that's funny, lovely, 3 shells left, and there's the STRV. Relevance. Is he relevant going up? If we, like, we won this game, to be clear. But let's try and learn something. Let's say this game was still in the balance. Let's say those enemy heavy tanks had cleared up our fine, gentle teammates on the 9-0 area. Relevance of an STRV running up to the D1 line. STRVs in endgame situations can be very, very scary. But when they are isolated, they achieve generally one thing. Actually, they achieve one or another thing. They either achieve... No, it's just the one thing. They achieve essentially being useless. Like, STRVs do not work solo. That's not how they work. They work to support, or they work to run to a more secure position. An STRV cannot hold a flank by itself. It holds it in network with other people in other positions. An STRV alone is very, very weak, so when considering assaulting an STRV's position, you really have to consider 2 main factors. One, distance to the STRV. The more distance you have to cover in front of it, the more damage you will take. It's got very, very good DPM, very accurate gun, and very good penetration. You will be taking that damage against a good STRV player. So distance is one consideration. 2, the value of the position that it's obtained. STRVs don't hold flanks alone, so this question has to be deconstructed into what is it supporting? What is this STRV networking with? What is it supporting? In this case, an STRV holding, for example, D1 isn't threatening. So when considering the engagement, you have to balance it between, okay, what does the STRV provide in terms of value to his team, and how weak is he? It's a balance between distance or accessibility of his position to you as the attacker, and the value of assaulting that position in relevance to the security that the STRV has via that distance metric or that damage that you're going to have to take to get it. So in this case, you can just chase it down and murder it, but it's always nice to consider relevance of positions for tanks that you are attacking. Oh, nice platoon. Funny BIA medal right off the bat. Let's remember as well, the STRV has 360 meters of view range, and what you should do right now, most likely, is not play aggressively towards the Futur, most likely reversing to C1. Back to a wall's best chance you got against the Futur right now. Let's see. Worth noting, the Futur has 7.5 degrees of gun depression. Decent. 7.5 degrees of gun depression over the front, but only 5 over the rear. Oh no, and I don't think this guy knows. Okay, why are we reversing right now? I mean, look, it's a bad play on the offset because weaker armor on the booty, doesn't really matter in this circumstance. Gun depression, significantly worse over the rear, like everyone in every tank would like 2.5 degrees more gun depression when aiming like this. You're taking that away from yourself, so don't do this in a Chaff. But also, you reverse to gain something. Generally speaking, you reverse in a situation like this to gain the ability to fall back if you are worried about eagerness. It's an STRV. It's not going to just suddenly go and come towards you and fight you on a ridge line. Like, that, it literally can't. It has to switch mode and then go and then switch mode again. It just doesn't work. So reversing here is absolutely pointless. It actually costs you way more than you actually gain because you're not needing the ability to retreat quickly and you're costing yourself gun depression. So really poor decision to be reversing here. Okay. This is fine. Should be able to close. Oh my word, let's talk about that. I think he actually managed to bounce it off the side. Now, the funny thing is, you see this slope on the upper plate of the Char? Like, you will bounce shells off of this because it's 45mm. Like, it doesn't get overmatched by your average 130mm, 140, 120, 122mm guns. You need 135mm and above. I had to work that out a little bit. But yeah, shots that hit here, this is an auto bounce, like if it's flat on. It's ridiculous. And that's where I thought he hit, but no, it looks like he bounced off the side somewhere, which is honestly equally impressive. Good for you. Okay, let's aim manually, please. Okay, so what are we worried about here? It's an STRV 103B. It has slice of sort of armor that is troublesome. Had you hit there at that angle, you likely would have bounced clean off. And then you can't kill him. So manually aiming in these circumstances, not only do you go for the track, but you avoid or lessen the chance of having another dumbass bounce, which you've already had today. Okay, gentle cupola shot. Could have aimed that more. We got a 2.2 second aim time now, don't we? Okay. We're giving him a salute. I like it. Give him one more shot of damage. I literally, endgame situations like this, I am of the ethos when in life that life is made up of very, very small things. And so we should change life by doing very small things. Good way to change habits, good way to approach fitness, and I think life in general. For example, friendly advice for you, when you leave a room, make something better about that room. Could be the smallest thing. It could be playing a compliment, picking up a tiny piece of dirt on the floor and putting it in the bin. It could be literally anything. Do not leave a room until you make that room better in some way. Cleaner, nicer, happier, whatever it might be. Tiny little things, and do that every single time. Because our life is a collection of tiny things. Small things can make the world better when there's a lot of people doing them. If everyone had the principle of make a room better before you leave it, the world would be a fantastic fucking place. And in World of Tanks, if you got 400 health to give an enemy tank who is going to lose a game, do it. Like, just reverse up, let him shoot you, and then bugger off. Right? He gets 400 bonus damage. Doesn't cost you an awful lot. But come on, give him a shot. Give him one. I always feel so sorry for TDs. TDs in endgames like this. Man can't do jack shit. Whoop. WZ missing his booty. Okay, he's going to get a shot. Yay! Oh, okay. Kind of didn't expect that to pen, but we'll work with it. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I thinking? It's an interesting one. Reversing into that bush may be a force of habit from the other tanks, but it's really weird gameplay. Certainly not representative of someone who understands the vehicle, because you'd never reverse in a Chaff. the only time that you reverse in the Char is, as I said, if you are worried about egress. Let's say there's what's a good example? You're not sure if there's a T-49 over the hill and you're on 800 hit points. Right? That's when you reverse in. Because if there is a T-49 on the hill coming up, you want to be running and getting out of there, let's say you're reloading, as quickly as you can, right? But there are very few game states where you're reversing the Char Futur, so what that tells me is this is someone who is playing the tank and has not had a quick look at it, right? Literally all you need to do when you play a new tank, bring it up on tanks.gg. Just literally type it into the bar up here, make sure it's set on tanks, type it into the bar, have a look at it. Look at the gun constraints in particular on the right here. This will tell you where the gun depression lies. So we got 5 over the here, we can see this number here, and we got 7.5 degrees over the front. Stuff like that can dictate your gameplay, and it literally takes 2 minutes. Right? Literally, it is such an easy thing to do, and it's something that people should be doing when they're hopping in a new tank, is just having a quick look at it. Use these sites, they are there, and also keep these sites open while you're playing your game. If you want to get better at water tanks, have tanks.gg open in the background, and you're like, wait, I just bounced in my IS off the front of a Tiger 1. How did that happen? Where the hell did I bounce? Well, you bounced off of here. Right? This is the kind of thing that we're looking at, is how did something happen? And then you open up tanks.gg and you have a look at why I bounced, at why I didn't pay, at why this weird thing happened, right? So it seems someone is not doing that. Amma's played, it's fine. There wasn't any immediately team-motivated counterplay. Generally speaking, if you are in a mobile, relatively stealthy medium tank like this, and you see there's no light tanks on the enemy team, you want to slide yourself into that role in the early game. Which, in fairness, was done, but I think, personally, I would have pushed it a bit further, but I guess to say that counterplay wasn't there is mildly unfair. A 60% and above player would have noticed the weakness of the A line, or the sort of west of the map, as soon as the enemy abandoned it to tank low a lot earlier, and they would have likely gone with the Pajero just to assert themselves on that area, because the enemy don't know you're reloading, and it keeps the Pajero safe. So that was done, but maybe 30, 40, 50 seconds later than it might otherwise have been. So my instinct with that and the reversing is probably like 54, 55, somewhere around there. I'll note it down. Okay, so my estimate is 54.23 and 1,741 WN8s. Let's see. Oh, I thought I did 53, man. I thought I did 53. Okay, that is not far off. Not far off indeed. A little low on the WN8, but pretty damn close to the win rate. I almost got within 0.5. Nice! And he's doing a lot better recently. Good to see. Cool, cool, cool. Look at that. That's nice. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Link to the previous and next episodes will be in the description. You can consider becoming a channel member if you want to get early access to all of these videos. We've got loads of them out currently, and of course you'll get early access to yours if you submit a paid one. But yeah, link to the playlist will be on the outro screen as well, and check out the Learn the World of Tanks playlist if you do want to learn more about the game. I stream live on the weekends, so there'll be a link to Twitch in the description as well. Farewell, bye bye bye.
Humanity peaks at our community manager. He is mentally jacked and strengthening our backs just like the corner weight on the turret of the challenger. Cause if we find ourselves in a crappy mood, you will brighten our day just through your attitude. Steven and Peabody, badass crew. So please take the song as a token of my gratitude.